The Christmas Truce 1914 is a fascinating part of our history. In wide stretches of the front lines, both German and British soldiers put down their weapons and stopped fighting for that day and engaged in activities that we would consider to be sort of normal, everyday things. Things like cutting hair and playing football, and it's that kind of glimmer of humanity thrust into the middle of this incredible conflict that really brings the Christmas Truce to life.
Well, the idea of this tournament is, number one, to have a top-class football tournament and expose the players against teams and oppositions and playing styles they might not experience necessarily at home, but to build around it a whole education programme and coming to Ypres, it gives an opportunity to look at all the story behind it, the horrors of the war, but the key messages that came out from that particular event in history.
These boys have been born in 2004 and they would never have experienced any sort of hardship that our soldiers have had to go through. We've just visited a headstone where a soldier had left behind 5 young children under the age of 11, which was something that, being a father, that it's unheard of, and you never ever want to go through that.
Today was a very good experience for us to see how the graveyard of very brave people that have fought in World War I, and to show our respect and appreciation for what they've done. I don't think I would be brave enough to be able to do that, and that's why we show great respect of what they've done, because it is a huge bravery.
We managed to see one of our Blackburn Rovers first team players that fought in the war, 100 years ago. It was really sort of inspirational. I think some of the boys that took part in the war were only a year older than some of these. So I think it was a really good experience.
It was really good to witness all the different places and who survived and who died in the war and fought for us to be here today. It's really inspirational to think about the footballers and know that we're playing football for them and that they've risked their lives for us.
A number of teams across Europe recently took part in the Premier League's Christmas Truce Tournament in Ypres. Each side represented a country that fought in World War I.
We are trying to recreate that spirit of peace and reconciliation. But then when you watch some of these games, they're really spicy, and there's some really good young footballers here. So there's a serious side to this as well, in terms of giving these guys a football education as well and challenging them to play against some of the best players in Europe.
Blackburn Rovers, West Ham United, RSC Anderlecht and Manchester City all progressed to the semi-finals of the Under-12 tournament. Man City and Anderlecht made it to the final. The Belgian side capped off a truly memorable weekend with a 2-1 victory over City to win the event.
We genuinely believe about the holistic development of players, and that means it's not just about development on the pitch, but development off the pitch. And if we want our players of tomorrow to be socially responsible, understand the power of football, then we need to expose them to different activities, events during their journey through their academy life.
I think when we can do things like this as a team, I think it brings them together as a group. Actually being out here with pressure and the competitive element, trying to get points, trying to qualify, I think that everything together, makes it something they're going to remember forever.
We just thought we were coming here to play football, but once he told us all about the World War, it was a different story, because we knew we were here to remember the soldiers.
It's been a difficult day in terms of the players understanding actually how hard and how difficult the war was. This has really benefited the knowledge of our young players, particularly at our football club. We've learned that culture is massively important, particularly at West Ham.
I think it's very beneficial for us all to learn about our past history of what these people have done for us, and also it will help us in the future to always remember them, and they will always stay with us forever.